Hor-Aha, the king who turned unity into absolute power. Pharaohs series, King number 2, Part 1. Egypt was united, but unity alone does not rule an empire. After Narmer forged the two lands by blood and crown, around 3100 BC, Egypt stood on the edge of collapse. Victory had created a kingdom, but not a state. One man stepped forward to transform fragile unity into absolute control. His name was Hor-Aha, the king who turned conquest into permanence. Hor-Aha, meaning Horus the Fighter, ruled during the First Dynasty from approximately 3100 to 3050 BC. He inherited a dangerous reality. Upper and Lower Egypt were united in name, but divided in loyalty. Local rulers still held power. Regional cults resisted central authority, and unity existed more on ceremonial stone than in daily life. Hor-Aha understood a truth that would define Egyptian civilization for the next 3,000 years. Empires survive not by conquest, but by control. Unlike his predecessor, Hor-Aha did not rely on endless warfare. Instead, he built systems. Under his reign, Egypt saw the earliest foundations of a true royal administration. Power shifted from tribal leaders to the crown through officials, scribes, taxation, and centralized storehouses. Authority was no longer personal or regional. It became institutional. Religion became his greatest weapon. Hor-Aha ruled not simply as a king, but as Horus incarnate, a living god on earth. By merging divine authority with political power, obedience was no longer optional, it was sacred. To defy the king was to defy the gods themselves. He strengthened Memphis as the nerve center of the kingdom, positioned between Upper and Lower Egypt. From this strategic capital, the pharaoh could control trade, movement, and communication. Whoever held Memphis held Egypt, and Hor-Aha made sure it answered to him alone. No great battles are recorded during Hor-Aha's reign, and that silence speaks louder than war. Rebellion was crushed before it ignited. Opposition dissolved through law, ritual, and the constant presence of royal power. This marked the birth of Egypt's silent empire, where fear replaced chaos and stability replaced bloodshed. Hor-Aha was buried at el-Ka'ab in Abydos, in a tomb surrounded by the graves of servants sacrificed to accompany him into the afterlife. This was not cruelty alone. It was a statement. Even in death, the king ruled. Even beyond life, the state endured. Narmer created Egypt, but Hor-Aha made it last. Without him, there would be no stable dynasties, no centralized power, and no unbroken civilization stretching across millennia. He was not the conqueror. He was something far more dangerous, the architect of permanence. In the next part, Egypt faces its first internal fractures, and Hor-Aha reveals how power survives without war. Subscribe and follow, because the